originally started the brand in 2006 and had always wanted to have my own label. I started in the way that most young designers did at that time, wholesaling, picked up by Murray in Melbourne at the time, which was kind of my ultimate goal, to be stocked there. Then I decided to move to New York and relocate the brand there. I was interested in expanding to an overseas market. We picked up overseas stockists. I was producing in New York, in Australia, a little bit in China, and it just sort of grew into this large sort of global operation with lots of different parts moving. I started to become a little bit frustrated by just the way that the fashion system operated. Each season you'd be rushing to create this new collection, and then within 3 months everything would be marked down and clothing would then be deemed as old. So I saw a lot of waste within the industry, and that just didn't sit very well with me. I had already applied the principles of longevity, organic fabrics into the brand, but it was still operating within this traditional fashion system. I also felt uncomfortable with manufacturing at a third-party factory where I had great relationships with the managers there, but there was sort of this barrier between me and the machinist, and knowing that I paid the right amount and the conditions were just. All these things kind of weighed on me, and then when I came back I decided to relaunch Arnstorff, but in a new way. It felt quite bold to decide to do direct to consumer. We wanted to have a personal relationship with our clients, gain the feedback around the cuts, around the fits, around the styles directly from the people that were wearing it. We also decided to bring everything in-house and having that direct connection with the people who are actually creating your vision. We now have Ethical Clothing Australia accreditation, which is like an independent body that comes in and assesses the way that we're operating. So the way that we operate now is that we have a permanent collection, essential wardrobe pieces. We also do have the limited edition. We cut in really small quantities. Because we manufacture for ourselves, we basically create a small batch of garments. When those sell out, we recut, rather than creating hundreds of the one style and hoping that they sell, otherwise needing to mark down. Part of our philosophy around sustainability is putting more emphasis on value of the piece, on the materials that it took to create, around the craftsmanship, that the hours of labour that went into this piece. We're very transparent on our website. We tell everyone, who made the garment and at what cost, where the raw materials came from. So we have like that complete supply chain transparency. Even more so since COVID, I've sort of really stripped back the process again and considered like, how many pieces do we need to create? And really it's about quality, not about quantity. When I start a new collection, I become really aware of everything around me. It's almost like my senses are heightened in some way. During lockdown was the beginning of the next season. Usually, I might be inspired by an exhibition, a gallery that I've been to, but everything was about being at home. I've got 2 small children. We started a ritual every Saturday night. We would watch a family movie, revisiting classics like Star Wars, The Never-Ending Story. At the same time, I really got into Kundalini yoga. I guess that really informed the beginning of the collection, the dress that they would wear, the white garments. So it was kind of just this idea of merging all those things that were inspiring me at the time back into the Arnstorff aesthetic. So after the inspiration, the design process starts. So for me, I like to do a lot of sketching. I also like to work in collage sometimes, so I'll, cut up images and deconstruct things. I'll then do like a technical sketch to communicate that to my pattern maker. Then we'll work in calico to create a toile. Then we get our fit model in. We can see from an aesthetic point of view how it's fitting on her. but she also brings that lived experience of wearing the garment. So the plans for the next phase of Arnstorff is really about continuing our circularity journey, finding ways to incorporate regenerative practices and processes in terms of farming, in terms of the whole life cycle of the garment. We're using recycled cotton in some of our garments now, as well as recycled wool. Most of our customers, I guess, are attracted to us because of the ethics and sustainability. It's been a really beautiful community that have come together, and we just have wonderful relationships with our clients.